This is Garrett Fry, the Cityscape lead for 3D digital map painting, and we're taking a look at G102. So let's go ahead and play that. So we start off on the left and pan to the right. So this is one shot in a series of shots that is at this same location. So it's G100 and G101 are the three shots. They're in the same, this is the same location, but it's slightly different perspective. So what you'll need to do with this and the other shots that I've talked about before is that you will need, when you replace this building here, for instance, you're going to need to follow the perspective of this building. If you take G100 building and stick it in there, it's probably not going to line up. You're going to want to use the perspective of this building in the plate. So the things that you're going to need to replace are this building here, the iconic buildings. We can keep a couple of the generic buildings, and then you'll add to this cityscape. The direction, of course, that we've talked about, we've been given up to 50%, but we don't have to do that much if we just want to change the look of the city. So we want to make it look like a different city. So we probably don't need to go that high. So as you're adding these buildings here, you are going to need to be careful that you are matching the correct scale of the buildings as they go back into the distance. So if you have some buildings here where the windows are really quite large, and then this is the size of the window of the building that's in front of it, then you know that the scale is really messed up there. So you're going to want to make sure that that you have the proper and correct scale for those things. Also, you have a reflective surface down here, and so whatever you put in this area will need to kind of show through in this area. There's not really much that needs to be done because the water's a bit kind of murky right now. So, if you replace this building, for instance, you may not need to do anything right there. So just be wary of that. If you do put something in this area, for instance, you will probably need to put something down here because we see this building and this building. Something also you can do if you don't want to mess with the reflection of the ground is just pick buildings that are similar to these so that when you see them in the reflection, they look the same, and so you're not really touching the water there. You're just doing stuff to the city skyline, and you're not having to create extra work for yourself, which in visual effects is a big plus. Make sure that before you jump into these shots, you download the image library. The image library consists of nearly 500 raw images. That's 2.27 gigs of buildings from 5 different cities from around the world: Sydney, Wellington, Adelaide, San Francisco, and New Orleans. So there's a huge variety of buildings to choose from. The photo reference includes buildings under all different lighting conditions and angles, so it pays off to familiarize yourself with the materials you're going to use to successfully execute these shots.